Hello everyone, welcome to Tuesday's Transformational Tip. My name is Kimberly. I'm a certified meditation teacher, and every Tuesday I love to share with you guys tips, tricks, practices, perspectives on my transformational journey, mainly through meditation. And so I like to share that with you guys just in case it might help you on your journey. And so today, I guess I wanted to, dive right into that. I wanted to give you guys some of the signs that you might be feeling, going through if you're in this journey, or if you may be just starting the journey, you may be well into the journey. But I found that when I started going through this, I was really looking for information like this. I guess just to feel like we're not alone. It's always helpful when we feel like we're not alone, and we feel that there's some kind of normal in this journey. So my perspective is mainly my tool has been mainly meditation. And so there may be other tools that you are using to go through this transformational journey, to get deep within the self and to release and let go of all the things that's preventing you from getting to your highest potential. Me, it's meditation, so that's what I'm going to be speaking through, but it can apply to whatever kind of tool you're using to get through this transformational journey. Let's just say that. So the first sign that you might be experiencing when going through this transformational journey is the feeling of mysticism, this mystical feeling. I know when I started my journey, I really felt like as I started paying attention, and I was already, let's be clear about this, I was already a sensitive person, very empathic. But when I started this journey, it just heightened. Everything really heightened. Right in the very beginning, I would say 3 weeks after I started feeling very mystical. As I started paying attention, this feeling of mysticism stayed with me. So you might be experiencing that. Another thing that you might be feeling and experiencing, and I have my list so I don't forget anything for you guys. The other thing is clairvoyance, all the clairs, clairsentience, clairaudient. These things are going to start coming online. Whatever it is for you that is natural for you. I had a few things come online, and one day I was in my kitchen and I had been out on this island and I had found this beautiful broom that had floated to shore, and it was almost new. And I took that broom and I put it in my garage. And then one day I wanted to go sweep off the patio, and I thought, oh, I'll go get that broom that I got over on the island, that treasure I found that day in the spring. All of a sudden, I had this picture come in front, like not my mind, just this picture come in. I saw my husband undo the bottom part of the broom from the stick, throw it in the garbage, and put the stick in the corner of the garage. And I thought, oh my God, what? So I ran to the garage, and there was the stick without the bottom on it. So I had this random moment, not in meditation, not anything special, just this random clairvoyance event happening. I had so many different clairaudience messages I was hearing. Just all of these different things started to come online for me, and everything starts to balance out as the journey goes. But in the beginning, I think we notice it so much because the intensity just really goes up. That's what I found right in the beginning of my journey. So you might be experiencing something like that. And this will change as we get deeper into the self. The messages will change, the qualities of the messages will change. It will all change. We get very comfortable with it. Some things may start to fall away, the type of messages. But if you want to know anything more specific about that, let me know and I'll go into more detail, because I've helped many different people with the types of messages they're getting with clairaudience and stuff in the very beginning. And that starts to filter out and lighten up, I'll say. So if you have any questions about that, please let me know, because that can be very important on the journey. So on my paper next is the color, this is going to sound really strange maybe for some of you, but if you're going through it, no. So I used to have really black hair. I used to dye my hair black, and this is more natural. I'm a light blonde. So when I started going through the journey, I started feeling like changing all kinds of things about myself, music, home decor. So that might be a sign that you're really getting into this transformation. You just feel like lightening up. I guess as we start letting go of repressed, suppressed, expressed, or escaped emotions, I would say. Those are the categories according to David Hawkins. As we start letting go of those emotions that are not serving us in our highest potential, we start lightening up. At least I did. I started wearing a lot lighter colors. The genre of my music changed. Now, it's not to say that it goes away forever. I still wear black sometimes. But on a whole, everything lightened up for me. I started wearing more colors, bright colors, whites. I changed my hair. I wanted it more natural. I started going to really lighter genres of music. Now, I still listen to my rock. I still bang it out to Guns N' Roses. I have electric guitar. Yes, I play electric guitar. But I went eventually to a place of no music. And so I guess when the mind is very loud and the body is very full of that repressed emotions, we need a lot of noise on the outside to kind of balance that out so it doesn't sound too loud on the inside. I heard someone say, I have to listen to music all the time because if not, the noise in my head is too loud. And it was perfect what he said. It was just perfect. I thought, yes, that's exactly what I experienced too. So you might be experiencing this, and it's, from my perspective, totally normal. Now, like I said, I do listen to music when I choose. I get in moods when I'm cooking and I listen to trance and progressive. I listen to some rock, but I don't need it. I don't need it in the morning. I don't need it. I don't need it ever. I can go weeks without listening to music if I want. And then when I want, I listen to it and I love it. That might be another sign that you're experiencing. Got to check my list to see where I'm at here. So I guess generally in the beginning, a lot of the changes were about me specifically, just me. Like ways that I'm expressing myself in the world started to show up really a lot differently. And it even went into my career. So if you're thinking about a change in your career, this is also very normal. I think whatever we are choosing before the journey starts, before that courageous journey starts, we can let go of those things as we get into and release a lot of those emotions, like I talked about earlier. However, we can choose. I know you're thinking about people. Oh my God, do I have to let go of the people in my life? No. I chose a partner right before this journey started that it turned out was going to give me a lot of peace and a lot of comfort through this journey. So that can also happen. It depends on your journey. It depends on your path. So it's not to say that you're going to get rid of something you love because you go on this journey. And it's not saying you're going to keep everything. It depends on what your journey is for you. And I'm not even sure we know that beforehand. I just walked into it not really afraid about my relationship at all. And I guess that was probably a sign that it was there to support me. So you might have the same, okay? Now, after that, I just started having really deep epiphanies about life. If you're having that, that's another sign. Really deep epiphanies about yourself, about what you need to let go of, about what's not serving you, about things you're doing in your life. Just epiphany after epiphany after epiphany. And then there gets a place where we start to get comfortable with the epiphanies. And yes, they do get a lot deeper as the onion starts to get peeled back, we could say. As the onion gets peeled back, we get deeper and deeper and deeper, and we start to really understand our place in our own lives And like I talked about on another Tuesday's transformational tip, this place where we start to get comfortable with going inside and letting go. There's a place where we finally start to get comfortable with and not afraid of our emotions anymore. That's very important. Because I think a lot of the reason why our lives are as restricted as they are and as limited as they are is because we are afraid of our own emotions. We are afraid of our own feelings. And once we get used to going within and letting it go, going within and letting it go, we realize there's nothing to be scared of. So if you have an emotional issue or a trauma or something difficult you're working through, a health challenge, if you don't want to go in and really tap into that core repressed emotion, that's say the core of all of that trauma or all of that difficulty, go out around the outskirts like David Hawkins talks about. I was doing this for years, and I just finished that book on my vacation, and I realized, wow, that is so what I was doing. Going on the outskirts of the trauma, for example, and releasing and letting go of those levels that are not as difficult as the core. And then as we get more comfortable with them letting go, we can go in and really let go of the really, I'll say big, the ones like shame and guilt and abandonment. All those, we can go in and let go of those. Those are easier to let go of. So that's another sign that you're getting really deep into it, is the comfort of being able to let go and that trust that you know what to do. And that's when we start seeing differences in our life, because we're not as afraid anymore. So if we're not as afraid anymore, we take a little bit more chances and we try a little bit more. And we can risk a little bit more because we're not as afraid. And that is where the next step I wanted to talk about, which is purpose. That's where purpose starts to show up. That's another sign of the transformational journey. Now, I've kind of given it to you as I've experienced it. There's a lot of little nuances in there that I haven't mentioned. So if there's something that I haven't mentioned and you really want me to talk about, or you want to ask me about, either privately or on another Tuesday's transformational tip, for sure I will. Purpose is another big part. And I really believe that in order to get to our true purpose, we have to really let go of all of those limitations that we've placed on ourselves based on a lot of the repressed emotions, the suppressed emotions, the expressed emotions, which a half of it is still repressed. And then the escapism, the emotions we escape, right? Through addictions or other things we're doing to just cover up the emotion that's wanting to be released and let go of. So those are some of the signs that you might be experiencing on a transformational journey. I definitely had all of these, and the epiphanies are very big in the beginning, and then it starts to get normal. It all starts to just get normal, and it starts to just get comfortable. And throughout this, I didn't know where to place this on the list, so I'm putting it at the end. Throughout all of these steps, you will start to see, I don't want to say for sure because everyone's different, but a big part of the journey is the automatic and spontaneous gratitude and happy. We start to feel lighter throughout this journey. Progressively, we feel lighter and happier. It makes me smile just to think about these outbursts that I would have of just laughter and lightness and gratitude and love and all the qualities of love, the care and the affection and attention, all of these qualities, and just spontaneous gratitude just starts to pop up. And so I didn't know where to put it, but it's there all throughout. And yes, there is a part in the beginning which some some traditions call the dark night of the soul. I did read about that when I was going through it. This is the very beginning when we start to encounter sort of the ice melting around the repressed emotions. But if we hear this in advance, or if we hear this while we're going through it, it's normal to when we start to feel those. It doesn't stay like that. It's just the very beginning of dealing with those repressed emotions where we're not used to it. We don't know. We're afraid of even dealing with the emotion. We're afraid of fear itself. So that's something we can start on releasing. It does get easier. It's just the beginning where it's really, really, it feels heavy, and it feels, that's where we have to pull out the courage. And don't worry, you will keep going, because life will push you in that direction. Your subconscious will push you in that direction. Just know that dealing with that will get a lot easier. It will come down simply as, okay, let's keep going. That's what it will come down to, from where it is in the beginning to that. So I wanted to put that at the end too, to not just discourage you. It's to give you encouragement and give you a little push to say that you will get used to it. You'll get used to all of it. And at the end, you will end up in a place more in your highest potential at the end. There's no end. That's the other thing you learn. There's no end. But that's a place where we get really settled into dealing with the content within. And we start really knowing ourselves and our highest potential. And so that's what I have to say at the point I'm at right now. And I'm sure it's never ending. It's never ending. It's never ending. I'm always going deeper and deeper and deeper and realizing more and more and more. And it just keeps getting more expansive. The vision keeps getting more expansive as I go. So I'll leave you with that. If you guys have any more questions, or if you want me to go into a little bit more detail of something I've said here, because it's really important that you feel supported on your journey. And that's why I wanted to share this, because I couldn't find anything like this except some old thing in Buddhism, but I couldn't really find any real modern perspectives of what I was going through in the moment. So that's why I'm sharing this with you, and I hope it serves you. I'm really, really happy to be here. Thank you for joining me so much for another Tuesday's Transformational Tip, and I will see you next week. If you need to contact me, it's info@kimberlypatey.com. I would be happy to talk to you. So until next time, stay well, transform, transform, transform. Mwah. Bye.